Hello, hello, everyone. Janet, you was first one on night. For a long time, you was the only one. Let's get this party going. It's definitely Janet and Elaine and who else we got? Papa G, Stephanie Stroud. Ron's here. Okay, guys, we're going to have a little show tonight here. There's some good news. I think it's really positive news, and we'll discuss it. We'll move on. But first, I'm going to say the pledge, and then I'm going to play the music. And I'll be right back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm ready to stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless
Yes, God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. And you know, for all these people that keep saying they're leaving America, so and so is this, let them leave, please. Just go. Quit threatening and just go. So, a little bit of a house cleaning to do on aisle 5. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Robert Ford. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Terry Hardman. Happy birthday to you. And we hope you guys have many, many more. We hope these beds get here and everything is just happy for everybody. We're living in a time, guys. We're living in a time that 1,000 years from now they'll still be talking about it. And who knows? Lay down, sit down. We're living in a town that who knows 1,000 years from now we might be in a situation where we're still talking about it with these magical beds. Who knows? And guys, also as I'm on this subject, it sounds like a broken record because that is a type of luck that this family is running into. But Super Jimmy's family, the Moran family, every time you think that they're getting some breath of fresh air, you take a little over 2 years ago, Mom Renee dying. And that was a heartache because Renee was such a sweet young woman. Beautiful mother, beautiful wife, great daughter. And now she's gone. But they have to do the autopsy and they find out Renee was expecting a baby. So that doctor not only took the life of Renee because that doctor was such a, I can't say what it is because there's kids watching this show. I know there is because 2 of them standing right here behind me. I'm babysitting a couple tonight. Hey, Lynn Date, Papa G, David, good to see you. Bill Woods. But it's just unbelievable what they're putting us through and what they're having us do. You know, the kids, this family losing Renee. When I said that it's unbelievable what they're putting us through, I meant they're putting this family through. When they lost Renee, now just about a month ago, they lost the son Larry, the brother Larry, the future husband Larry. But since they lost Larry, they've gained Sarah, who was going to be Larry's wife. We had the ring in his pocket the night he had the accident. Sarah's a beautiful young 18, 19-year-old girl, just graduated high school. She's moved in with the family, and she's now given the young sister, Larry's young sister, some hope, who will be 16. That little girl will be 16 in July. Then there's Jimmy and another little baby girl that's only 3. Sarah was going to announce Sunday to Larry that they were pregnant. They were going to have a baby. But no, it didn't work out that way because Larry left. And the sadness of Larry leaving, then they go, Jim and Sarah go to get checked out. And they find out that Sarah's pregnant, which they knew, but she's expecting twins, which, the way I understand, they're going to name them one boy, one girl, Renee and Larry. So just every time they think they have something starting to form happiness, taking 2 young boys, an 11-year-old boy and a 5-year-old boy in because they've been beaten and abused and just burnt. And you know what I mean by that. And they're taking them in, David Duffy in one voice, Larry Smith, Jeffrey. And their life is starting to get back. And now yesterday, Grandpa has to go in for surgery. Had to have some stents put in, but he also has 4 blockages. So now they got to watch him close. And it's like it never ends for this family. So what I'm saying this, why I'm sharing this tonight, is please do me a favor and pray for this family. Jimmy, I know what you're going through in our kids thing here. And, you know, I'm going to tell you it's going to get better. It is. It is going to get better. It can't, because technically speaking, young man, it can't get no worse. Am I right? One voice in Larry Smith. What more can go wrong with this family? You know, and this is not the first family in this group that we've went through this. Myrna, who looks like she's not going to make it on today. She's usually busy on Friday night. Look at everything she's endured, but she's like that. Watch, she's taking a bit licking, but she's still on ticking. Patriot 11. I really thought I would have heard from something about you by now, but hey, the summer's still young, and I don't know what the weather everybody's getting where they're at, but here we finally got a halfway decent day today. 79 degrees. You know, isn't it amazing? With almost to the 20th of June, and we're saying, whoa, we finally got in the 70s today. But the most important thing is we didn't have tornado warnings, and we didn't have rain. Talking about rain, Jim showed me a picture of what they got. They got a typhoon there in Pennsylvania the other day. I think that's what he called it. Patriot Wyatt Earp and Patriot Karate Kid. You know, you boys, I know you're going to give me a call one of these days, and maybe you'll call me Sunday and wish me a happy Father's Day. But you know what? Don't worry about that, boys. Take care of your own dad. That's what it is. And all the kids that I'm talking to tonight, please make sure you take care. Jimmy and Patriot 11, the two boys, take care of your dad. Make it a special day for him. Make it a special day for him. Patriot Princess, our queen, who I know now she's playing softball, her number's 3, and it's Grandma Janice's favorite number 3 ball player. Patriot Hunter, I hope you play ball, because I tell you, man, when you're your age, there's nothing better than to get out there and hit a baseball as far as you can. But you know what I prided myself in as much as hitting a ball, Patriot Hunter, I prided myself into running that fly ball down and making that miraculous catch. And all of a sudden, my teammates are all hyped up. And because, have you ever noticed when an inning ends on a really good catch, a catch that looked like you was in trouble, your team was in trouble, David Duffy, Jeffrey and Larry Smith, one voice, but you make that catch. And man, all of a sudden, your team, when you come up to bat, they get hitterish. And for you that don't know terms in baseball, hitterish is when no matter what pitch they show you, whenever, it doesn't matter, curveball, fastball, whatever, you're going to be right on it and you're going to crush it. And the very last ball game I ever played in, guys, we were down 5-0 playing for the conference championship. And in the last inning, we got hitterish. Yeah, I give a speech. I was mad at my team for laying down. And I give a new Rodney speech. I was yelling. I was screaming. My coach says, hey, I said, you go out and coach. Let me handle this. But I did. And we got hitterish, and we come back and scored 7 runs, won the conference championship, went to state. And we did something we promised our coach we would do. And kids, that's what you need to do. You need to set goals. And if you don't reach them, I got a little boy sitting behind me right now that I'm going to tell a story about him. I'm going to tell a story about him when it's his turn to come up, and it'll be soon. Patriot Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. And I found out John has a grandson. I think he said he was 18 years old, just graduated high school. Handsome young man from a previous marriage. And I'm not going to go into details what John told me, but that's okay because, you know, he took the initiative to go and see his son that he hadn't seen for a few years graduate. And that's what it is. That's why I'm telling you, always be there Sunday for your dad, because they'll always go out of your way. With my kids, I always consider myself the mom and the dad, but I never could understand why they didn't get no Mother's Day gifts. They'd always give them to their mom, and I'm thinking, why? And I'm not going to go into that story because I got 2 grandkids here and don't really want to talk about their grandma right now. Patriot Little Leona and Little Elan. Man, You two are so cute, growing like weeds. And then I got a couple behind me. You want to step up here for a second? Come here. Come here. Here's Patriot Kira. Get up there where they can see you. Give him a smile. Come on. Come on. There. Hank, you want to come up here? That's Patriot Kira. She's my youngest granddaughter. And here's Patriot. I hit in the mouth, Hank. Small Hank. Now, Kira, I call her Henrietta. Okay, you can go sit down. Watch your show. I call her Henrietta because we was having a talk, and we have this thing with me and Hank. Our middle names are Henry, the same as my son, and my dad's name was Henry. But the day that Small Hank was born, I gave him the nickname Small Hank. So when he started to talk and got to know what was going on, he gave me the nickname Grandpa Hank. So now Kira calls me Grandpa Hank. She says, why ain't I Hank? And I said, because your name's Kira. Well, I want to be called Hank. So I said, well, we'll call you Henrietta. And so we'll call you Tiny Hank. And she likes that. She don't like to be called Henrietta so much. And if I could get her to say it, it's so cute. Because, you know, a 3-year-old saying Henrietta is quite a mouthful. But I've got them tonight. Their mom and dad had to go in. Someone in the family is sick and had to go in. Then we have Patriot Super Gymnast. Guys, this girl, she's 12 years old. And I remember it was about 4 years ago. Might have been 5. I think it was about 4. She looked at me and she says, Papa. I said, what's up? She said, I'm going to take gymnastics. Johnny Holiday and Tony and David Duffy and Jeffrey. I said, you're going to take gymnastics? Yeah. And she was so excited. It was amazing. She was so excited. She went into the other room and I looked at Amber and I says, do you think that's wise? And she goes, what do you mean, Dad? I said, she's the most uncoordinated girl I know. But I said right then and there, but she's excited. And there's nothing I felt right then that this girl could not accomplish. A couple of years ago, she told me she was going to get in a play, a school play. She was a 5th grader. It went up through the 8th grade, and she made the play, and she had a very nice part. And I'm telling you, there was never a grandpa, a papa, or anybody, Larry Smith and Jeffrey and Papa G and Tony, there was never a grandpa more proud of a little girl than seeing her in his play. And not only did she nail her part, but they kept trying to get her to add a little bit to the part to really bring the part out. And she never would do it. In practice and rehearsal, she never would do it. And in the play, she did. And if you'd have seen the excitement on the other kids that was in this play, that they got her to do this, it was totally unreal. But going back to her gymnastics, she's doing things now that I never dreamed she'd do. So much so, I was talking to Ron and I said, her high school, when she gets there in a couple more years, they don't have gymnastics. And by not having gymnastics, she might have to look to go to the Catholic school that offers them because she's getting that good. Patriot 7. And I love my grandkids. I really do. But Patriot 7 plays baseball, and I work with him, and I help him. Well, let's sit down, baby, please. And I work with him. I help him. But they wanted to make him a pitcher. And I don't hold back. I told them. I told my daughter. I never told him. But at the time when they made him a pitcher, he wouldn't listen. When you're a pitcher, and anybody who's ever pitched a baseball, you got to have a release point. One time he released a ball back here, one time way out here, one time here. He never had a release point. And to be honest, he wasn't much of a pitcher. I didn't even enjoy watching the games because I didn't like him not succeeding, because it's all about success when you're learning the game. And then all of a sudden, my daughter, she knew this guy that used to pitch in college. He might have even pitched a little minor league ball. And she said, what would you do? Could you help him? And he said, let me see. Took him in it, give him a few lessons. He went from, I didn't like to watch him pitch, to the best pitcher on their team. And they would have still been playing in the tournament if the coaches wouldn't have been so hard-headed and would have let him pitch. But in order to pitch the next game, you could only throw 35 pitches. If you threw more, you couldn't pitch the next game. And I said to the coach, but if you don't win this game, you don't have a next game. They took him out and they lost. He's improved that much. But I babysat him yesterday. And he had to go meet with his pitching coach. And they set everything up, and his pitching coach has made this little back thing that's got a net in it. Really, he created it himself. But it's just like you're throwing to the catcher, and it gives you the batters, the strike zone in this. And if you hit in there, it catches it, and boom. And I watched him pitch 10 pitches into this thing, and every one of them right there strikes. There was a point he couldn't throw one strike in 10 pitches. What?
I said, yeah.
He couldn't throw one strike in 10 pitches. Now all of a sudden, he is pounding the strike zone. And I'm not sitting here to think my grandkids are better than every other grandkids here. No, I'm just saying they have the determination to be good. And anybody can do it when you have that determination. You just seen Patriot. Small Hanky come up, said hi. He's a young boy that's into martial arts. And he was having trouble on his back kick, breaking a board so he can move up in his class. Because he tried to break it once and it hurt, and we worked with him and worked with him and worked with him. We figured a way how to do it. And 2 weeks ago, he broke his board. So he's moving up. And it's something that I really love because he tried to play baseball. And he did not have I can't believe an Anderson doesn't have the desire to play baseball. But he didn't. He would rather sit out on the infield and play in the dirt. Now, he was too young to play in the first place, but that's how he was. But they got him into martial arts, and he's thriving. Patriot, little gymnast. Anything big sister can do, she thinks she can do better. She competes against her all the time. And she can do things that, Ella can do now, Patriot super gymnast can do now. But they work together. They'll fight like cats and dogs, but when they start doing gymnastics, man, they're right there. And if someone says something to little gymnast, man, super gymnast is the first one to stick up for her. And then you've seen little Kara. She's had a rough life. I mean, the day she was born, within a few hours, she was taken up to Chicago where she had to have 3 surgeries. That the chances survival was under 50% on each one of them. When they finally started taking one of the tubes out, she had like 4 of them in. They took one out, then they took another. They was down to 2 tubes. And she decided, CA and Jeffrey and David, she decided it was time to get rid of all of them. And she pulled them out. And the doctor says, let's see how she does. And she did good. They was expecting her to come home maybe by my birthday, February 4th that year, 3 years ago. But no, she decided she was tired of getting people sticking her and people doing things to her. She was tired of it. So in doing so, she came home a week before my birthday. But she's had a rough life. And it's a shame. But things like that happen, guys. Larry Smith says we're free. Elaborate on that, Larry. Common law. No, we should have no more game warden officers to arrest us shooting wild game for food. Well, that's not true, David, because what I'm hearing, you ain't going to be able to shoot wild game for food is what they're saying. I'm just the messenger. So that concludes tonight's version of the kids. I got a little carried away with the kids, and everything, but some nights we have to. Kids, this video is not for you unless you have parents, legal guardians, or grandparents saying it's okay. And the music we played tonight, I have no legal rights to. We play it because it's our theme song. Anything I play tonight, anything I share tonight, I believe it to be true. I have no legal rights on some of the things because, it's just the way it is. Go late, sit down, baby. So, where are we? Well, I think we're in the best place we've been in a long, long time. It has been signed for Iran. It has been signed. And got a new buddy there, buddy? It has been signed. Also, while they were signing, there was a couple of other people there. There was a couple other presidents there. One of them might have been a president of the Ukraine, and the other one might have been a president of the Russia. And they were there. And, 4547 made sure that he had a little chat with him. He made sure that. I'm just saying, usually when he decides that something's going to go, something's going to go. Now, let's listen to a video about them two countries. And Lynn, David, Janet, Larry Smith, Papa G, Linda, Jeffrey, and that. We all know the reason that war actually started. It had nothing to do with Putin thinking he was superior. We know it was about the children. Well, they're saying that they're pretty sure that they've all been rescued. So if that's the case, why can't these two presidents get together? Now, I know the president of Ukraine is really avid about putting an end to this. He even come out the other day and said, no disrespect, but if you look at the Russian president, he looks really old. He's not aged well. But think about it, guys. It's 4 years. 4 years. But I do got to go back 1 second, guys, because I forgot two very important kids, and that's Anya and Xenia, who is Patriot Cutie Pie and Patriot 17. And these are kids that when I got my letter from Julia today, and I told her in my letter that I sent her for today, I said, have the kids outside. Let them play. Just let them know that we're thinking about them, and we can't wait till they come here where they have freedom and they can play all the time. And I was told by Julia, the kids said, hey, they can't wait to have freedom. But let's get the freedom in their country first, and then let's take care of the kids. And I'm going to talk about that. Sit down. Now that concludes the kids' version. And I'm going to go on and on, but I'm going to do something I don't usually do. Dear Lord, as we come to tonight's show, it's starting to turn into a nice show. End of the week. A weekend that could be very huge. And Lord, I'm asking you to look after all the families, all the fathers, and wish each and every father a happy Father's Day. Look after them and take care of them. But Lord, truthfully, what I'm coming here tonight for is for the people who really need your help. Please look after them. Look after the Suttles family, as tomorrow they will lay their dad, their husband, their uncle, their brother to rest. He's with you now, Lord. And you know he was a very, very religious man and believed in you 100%. And the way he left us, Lord, was quite remarkable. I was telling his wife tonight, Lord, at the funeral home, I told her, if you need someone to talk to, just let me know and I'll stop on one of my walks and we can sit out on your porch and we can talk. And she thanked me and other people thanked me. But Lord, I didn't do it for the thanks. I did it for it's the right thing to do. But the way this man went out 2 weeks ago, I was walking, Lord, and I walked by and he said, "Hey, Mr. Anderson, stop and have a bottle of water. You look hot." And I did. And I sat on his porch and I talked to him for about 10 minutes, Lord. You know that. You was there. And he was doing great. The other day, the day he left us and came to you, he came home from town with his wife and he sat down in the chair. She went to the kitchen for a moment. She come back in and said something to him. And in less than 1 minute, he had come home to you. So look after him, look after the family, because sometimes when people die, you at least have a little time to prepare. They didn't. And right now they're all trying to hide it, but tomorrow at the funeral, when they finally say their final goodbyes, it's going to be rough. So look after their family. Look after the Moran family also, Lord, as it seems like they just keep getting things thrown at them and things happening to them. And then look after all of our family here in the Patriot 5, Patriot 6, and anyone that needs your help, Lord, look after as we come to you, talk to you, and pray to you through our Savior, your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. What? Well, there's nothing I can do. It's wet. You spilt your juice. The 3-year-olds. My dress is wet. Well, yeah, you spilled your juice on it. So, I know Papa G loves when I say the prayers, and I kind of said that one for you early tonight, Papa G, because thank you for showing up, Tony, Larry Smith, and Jeffrey. Thank you, Tony, for wishing everybody a happy Father's Day, and that's what it's about, you know. Okay, Larry Smith, that has nothing to do. Or Jerry, that has nothing to do what we were there for. Yes, anyway. There's a lot going on, guys, as I said, at that summit. But I got to get something off my chest because maybe I'm wrong to think this. Maybe I'm wrong to think this, but see, Tony and Larry Smith and Papa G and David and Jerry, would you not agree with me? There's an awful lot of people I lost my train of thought. I really lost my train of thought. So I'll come back to that later. But all I know is things are looking good, I think. It's my opinion. And I relate this to a song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Because we can build this world together. We can stay with each other together. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if our world should start to shudder, we'll still, all of us, have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And we've lived with this, guys. Our group has lived with this for how long? Remember, we would not comply. We would not surrender. We would not give in when they told us a few years ago that they wanted to put something in our arm. I would not comply when they said I had to put something over my face. Too handsome of a face to cover up. But you know, I was in Walmart today getting some food for my kitties. And there's a lady in there. And she wears a scarf over her face every day. Maybe it's because she doesn't trust her looks. I don't know. But man, we're going to have to wake up these people. And I truthfully believe, Larry and Bill, that's our job. That's what we're being trained for. We have to wake the world up. So urgent warning, President 4547 will treat my fellow Americans. A storm is coming, and this will lead to the imposition of martial law worldwide. GESARA/NESARA will be activated. The military will remove fraction-controlled government access the globe while simultaneously arresting 500,000 indicted individuals worldwide. The seven trumpets, also known as EBS message, will arrive on your phone instructing you to turn off your TV, radio, and phone. Now think of that. They're going to tell us to turn off our TV, radio, and phone. What is that going to do with the kids? I got to give my tablet up? I can't get on my cell phone? I can't call my best friend? No. You're going to learn what the world is. All military forces worldwide, including those of the United States, will block all media, internet, telephone, and television broadcast. Emergency service will continue to operate. During this time, the internet, ATMs, and phones will cease to function except for calls to 911. This state of global martial law will entail a 10-day communication blackout, a global emergency broadcast system, and 3 8-hour documentaries covering fraud, corruption, pedophilia, arrest, and tribunals around the world. 1 day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, the elites. After the 10 days communication blackout, we will connect to a new network. I love internet. Old systems of government, education, finance, healthcare, and commerce will be dismantled and replaced. Everything coming next is absolutely wonderful. You know, people's going to say, well, hey, we knew all this. But we have to keep repeating it because you never know who's finally going to hear it. Would you say I'm right there, Stephanie? David? See, some people say, well, you people that do shows, you repeat the same stuff. And that's right. Because you know One Voice and Janet and Jeffrey and Tony, we repeat the same stuff because not everybody listens. And all of a sudden, the light bulb might come on in your head, Bill Woods. It might come on and say, whoa, now I understand what we're doing. And I'm just using you guys' names because I know you guys follow it and you know what's going on. But we have to keep moving forward. Bruce, 6/18/26, speaks of world events of where President 4547 is signing peace accords with Iran. Spoke of Cuba getting ready for change as well as Ukraine and Russia. Beyond these things that are happening, Strait of Hormuz is opening and tankers are going. We are monitoring, perhaps controlling the strait. The peace accord goes south. President the Hat says he will bomb the you-know-what out of Iran. Of course, he does not want to, but he is not beyond doing that. He hopes that the negotiations will do the right thing for people of Iran. We are getting into Iraq with a big call where we stand. On Tuesday, we had people telling us about Friday and Saturday launch. We now hear it's more likely from a source that says Monday, 22nd June for start of notifications. We also heard from a strong source that we have to bring Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday into play. Exchange on 24th or 25th of June. It appears it will not happen this weekend, and the goal is to get it done before the end of June. Another source says the first 1,200,000 would be notified. These are the Zim holders. They would get email appointments first and get the redemption centers. If you have other currencies as Zim holders, you take your Zim and currencies with you. Hopefully, Zim holders will go early next week. President The Hat has signed a few executive orders, and one is to abolish the IRS and no longer use the IRS, but rather the external revenue service where tariffs comes in. We are expecting tariff dividends any day now, but do not see this coming till we get our notifications. As other aspects of the NESARA would also kick in, we have XRP live as of yesterday, and they are moving lots of money through the QFS system, tens of billions of dollars every 8 seconds, and the capability will be there for us when we are at the exchange. The Clarity Act, which XRP is part of, will be announced on July 4th of this year. Bruce thinks it's already done for practical purposes. We should get several positive announcements for us on July 4th. On July 1st, we look for a start of consummation tax on the new items purchased, not food or medicine or used items, but only on new items between 12 and 14%, imported in the cost of the goods. That will replace ideas of income. Hold on. That will replace the idea of income tax. Under NESARA, we have no federal income, personal property tax, no real estate. When will that be announced? Bruce believes this announcement should happen on the 4th. We are looking for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday notifications, and we should get this done before the end of June. Now, I thought Bruce's show, I thought his information was reputable. But the thing that I hated about Bruce's call and the way they talked about it here, never once in that whole thing did he mention the 24th of this month. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the 24th of this month, I believe, is going to be a day that we look back and say it changed history. We're going to look back, Michael. We're going to look back, David. We're going to look back, Tony, Maria. We're going to look back and think this is when it really went into play. Yes, we've been doing this for how many years now? But I believe the 24th is going to be the day that we really see things start to happen. That's my belief. What? No, you're not going home. Sit down. That's what I believe. Go in Dunkaron's bedroom with JJ. So that's where I believe we're at. I believe we're really, really close. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I did want to talk about something that really is kind of biting me in the butt. Everybody knows I voted for 45, 47 3 times. Everybody knows I believe he's the leader that God chose him to be, that Senior chose him to be. As we say, Senior started it, 45, 47 will end it. It's been a long journey, but I truthfully believe this. But what I'm about to say, Bill Woods and David Duffy and Tony, did you see the new Air Force One? Did you see this beautiful plane? They got a brand new Air Force One. I heard it cost $3 billion. Wow. $3 billion, Michael James, David Duffy, and Janet. What could $3 billion did to get people off the streets and in a home or a hotel room, get food in their stomach? What could it do? The straits is open. The waterway is open. Gas isn't doing nothing. You know, the last time I heard this man talk, he said gas is averaging about $1.88 a gallon. Have you noticed he never mentions gas now that it's averaging worldwide or United States wide over $4 a gallon? Because see, he's got Air Force One. It doesn't matter to him how much he pays for fuel. He's got a $3 billion plane. Why did he need a new plane instead of taking care of us, the people of the United States of America, the way we've taken care of him, getting him elected to the presidency, not once, not twice, but 3 times? Why is he refusing to put us first? My goodness, I seen that thing that they had on the White House lawn, and I was impressed with it. And when that man made that statement about Michelle, I loved it. But I also seen his granddaughter change outfits 3 times, and the 3 outfits she wore cost more of taxpayers' money than what I make for Social Security and a pension a month. I like the little girl. She's graduated high school. She's a good golfer. Why wouldn't you be? Grandpa's got an 18-hole course you can play anytime you want. Oh, my grandpa is 45, 47. I'm going to jump on Air Force One, and they're going to take me halfway across the world. They'll let me play free. I'm tired of spoiled kids getting everything, and there's still people on the streets. It's time to make America great again, everyone. It's time to end this stuff. And it's time for him to start thinking about the American people first. That's who put him where he is. Yes, God chose him, but without us voting for him, he wouldn't have made it there. And I love the man. He's going to get us there, but he's fumbling the ball. If this was a football game, I'm telling you, we'd be losing real bad. Restored Republic via the GCR, update as of June 19, 2026. According to a report compiled by Judy Byington, as of June 19, 2026, a series of monumental shifts in the world banking and a monetary system, monetary systems are reportedly reaching a flashpoint. These updates suggest a move away from traditional fiat systems towards a more technologically integrated asset-backed financial structure. A central pillar of the recent report is a transition from the legacy SWIFT banking system to the new quantum financial system, QFS. According to the update, the QFS went fully operational on global scale via the Starlink satellite system on June 9, 2026. This move was followed shortly by the reported end of the traditional SWIFT system on June 10th. A significant milestone in the transition occurred on June 11th when JP Morgan reportedly its first live transactions through the XRP ledger, signaling a pivot toward distributed ledger technology in the mainstream institutional banking. The report highlights several major governmental moves aimed at reshaping the American economic landscape. One of the most notable is the reference of Executive Order 14178, which reportedly bans the development of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in favor of the Digital Asset Strategic Reserve. Furthermore, the report claims that Congress has passed legislation prohibiting production of the fiat digital dollar as a gold asset-backed currency. It is already being implemented across 209 nations. These moves are framed as a systematic effort to return to tangible value in the monetary supply. For those following the Tier 4B or Internet group, updates and reports provides a specific window for anticipated notifications between Monday 22 and Sunday 28 June 2026. Notifications are expected to be sent out for individuals to set exchange appointments. This follows the reported activation of redemption centers in 14 major cities, which have been operational since early June. The report notes a military personnel are present at these locations to ensure security, and non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, are expected to be standard part of the process for those exchanging foreign currency or redeeming bonds. Looking ahead to the midsummer 2026, the report anticipates several landmark announcements coinciding with Independence Day. It's suggested that on July 4th, a formal announcement regarding a return of gold standard will be made, along with the report discusses the Clarity Act and the radical shift of tax system, proposing the abolition of the IRS and the replacement of income, state, and real estate taxes with new consumption tax, new goods estimated between 12% and 14%. Additionally, the U.S. Mint is reportedly prepared to issue new $1 coin as part of this transition. The report concludes with practical advice for those looking to navigate these changes. It emphasizes that the importance of utilizing official redemption centers rather than traditional banks for currency exchanges, particularly regarding Zim and Dinar. According to the findings, redemption centers are equipped to handle specific contract rates and set up a new secure digital wallet. The traditional banking institutions, some of which may still be transitioning from old systems, cannot offer. While the exact date for the individual notifications remain fluid, the report suggests that the groundwork for the global financial reset is now firmly in place. Judy says, please don't take my word for this. What I say, I believe to be 100% true. Do your own research, but you can use my research and my ability to share this with you if you wish. That concludes the week, guys. I myself personally think it's been a good week. I myself personally think that we're right there, ready to explode. I think the 24th, which is coming up very quickly, is going to be a monumental day. I've told you that 2 or 3 times already. David Duffy says 50 states have committed treason. They will need to be ratified into our restored Republic of America. We are the people, have the authority to admit them or not. No state government. Janet, you haven't said your prayer yet. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I got the 2 little kids here. I'm going to go spend a little time with them, get some dinner for me and Ron. I've already fed them. And who knows, we may do a show this weekend. But if we don't, we don't. Just keep an eye on what's going on. Just keep an eye on of what's happening, because I believe we're right there. I really do. And I may be saying the same thing next Friday night, but nothing's going to stop me from saying it because I believe in it. I wouldn't have been doing this for the past 18 years. I wouldn't have believed in the patriotism movement for the past 18 years. We're going to build things. We're going to do things. We're going to get kids in homes. We're going to get animals off the streets and in shelters. And nothing's going to stop us now because we're going to build this thing together. So good night. God bless. And to all the fathers and all the mothers who had to play father, happy Father's Day. Good night. God bless. And we love you all. Janet, David Duffy said, Janet said, we did win years ago. Yes, we did. Good night, everyone.